Hi, this is Firas.
Hi, Clemens here.
And today we'd like to talk about ENFPs and long-term relationships.
Yes, ENFP and long-term relationships. This is a follow-up on the other video that we did, which was on how to date an INFP.
Yes.
Something like that.
But with a bit of a wider context, I would say.
Yeah, like how to recognize an ENFP and then like start the interaction up to the date, essentially. And then there was like somebody asking us to actually talk a little bit about, like how does this work in a long-term relationship, right? So we wanted to create a follow-up video on that.
Yeah, she's a great fan, by the way. Thank you. Hi, Natasha.
All right, cool. And yeah, he's more the engagement expert, so he remembers people. So where we at? Long-term relationships, ENFP.
Yeah.
So I had a long-term relationship
very recently.
Exactly, and which was awesome. I would say. And then I think we also talk a bit about like we can like it sounds a bit weird, but like a lot of like in terms of like there's of course like the sexual side, which is like was in that long-term relationship, but in terms of interaction, you know, like actually our interaction there's many parallels, and we've been friends for a long while now.
Yes.
So like the synergy you experience on the platonic level, like also is of course present in the ENFP relationship. So we'll draw things from both ends, right? Like what we can say is it's like a twin relationship, right? Like it's like the same type with the same type.
Yeah. So there's this very strong, I think, mental connection.
Yes.
In a way, like both emotionally and mentally, even not just mentally. Yeah, this sync.
And one great thing I heard is like the good thing with ENFPs and ENFPs is that we both like to get validation and like to give validation, right? So it's like this like when you have two ENFPs together, you have like almost this like, or you have like this positive upward spiral, you know, where it's just like, oh, this is awesome, yeah, you're so awesome, yeah, you're so awesome, right?
Yes.
So it's like enthusiasm builds more enthusiasm, so it's like this positive wave of energy essentially that naturally builds. Right, and that actually continues through relationships
and leads to great things in relationships. For example, like lack of arguments, or like not complete lack of arguments, but significantly less than normal or average relationships, I would say.
So one thing I definitely notice is that with ENFPs, you know, you like it's almost always possible to kind of agree in the end, you know, like because you kind of you like first of all you connect to the intuition, the extroverted intuition, right? And that means that you actually you jump very fast to conclusions. So one thing I notice when I talk to people that have extroverted thinking or thinking on top or feeling on top, introverted or extroverted, that I have to go much slower in my line of arguments. Or with sensing, like when somebody has sensing on top, that actually they disconnect very quickly. So like the thing with ENFPs is, you know, you have like, because you have the same functions, you process information the same way, and therefore the sync is very fast, right? And because you're all about positive energy, you know, that makes it easy you want to agree, and then you kind of like on a rational level you find a way to agree as well.
And also because of the way the functions are made up or combined, there isn't that like strong need or urge to be right. In arguments. It's more the harmony is more important than being right. So unless you find like some fundamental issues where you like completely have been raised differently, right? Like so with my ex-girlfriend, for example, like she was raised very Christian, right? So that in the end she wanted to go the traditional way of, you know, buying a house, having a family very early, and whereas I'm like more detached from like social norms as such, really. So that can still happen, but you know, it was like you recognize those differences then, right? Like and that's still fine. So that's like a lot about the energy. So how I would like then put that in a relationship context, like talking about my experience a bit, like in a long-term relationship, is like ENFPs have a strong need to be by themselves to process information. So how that would be actually is like that, or how that would manifest itself in a relationship is that, you know, we would like with my ex-girlfriend, we would be like in an argument that not an argument, like in a discussion, you know, we would like be very excitedly talking about a topic or something like that, and then suddenly, you know, like 2 hours later, I noticed that there was 2 hours of silence, you know, so the argument just stopped at some point, and then I would look over to her, and she's like on her laptop watching Netflix, I'm on my laptop
doing something, whatever, watching movies. Like, so watching movies is a big thing, I think, for ENFPs, right? Like, and series and stuff like that. So in order to disconnect and process. So so that would happen, like that she actually just like would go into her own cave and I would go into my mental cave. And then we would, like, a couple of hours later, we would talk again. So there was like, even though like we were both extroverted, there was like this no need to explain yourself. Like when I was with non-intuitives before, like they would never get why I need time for myself, right? So there's this mutual understanding. Okay, so if you're gone without any
same
excuse,
needs basically.
Yeah, it's cool, right? Exactly. And then on the sexual side, I would say it's like. It's like ENFPs, like they're good at renewing the relationship by like constantly like finding new angles or new ideas and being very inventive, very playful, like role playing and stuff like that. So it's like it never really gets boring there, and so like very open to experiment and with the same enthusiasm that accounts for other areas.
Pretty much.
So that's why as well, like on the sexual side, you know, it's very stimulating, if that makes sense. So yeah, all in all, it's like a lot about like stimulating each other, like brain wise and in other areas as well. And it's a great positive reinforcement for growth, because I think like generally we lack like positive reinforcement in our life a lot, right? Like like there's a tendency of going into downward spirals, like with many types. So I think ENFPs are very good at creating that upward spiral.
Yeah, so I think like in an overview structure, it's a good environment to bounce ideas. Yeah. Share enthusiasm. Yeah. Also share strong, if you want, emotional intensity. Yeah. And just engage in a very constructive and synergetic way.
Yes. Yeah? Yes.
Also having the same needs, and so all these together create a very compatible and well built match.
Yes. Exactly. Yes. Exactly. I think that is pretty much it. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.